Tommy with Elevation every weekend, welcome back to the channel. Today's video features the yet to be released Borealis Keystone electrified fat bike. Borealis recently gave me the opportunity to have a few days with this bike for some in-depth testing. Today's video features one of the specific tests I did for fun. I did recently release my full review of the Keystone. I've linked that video in the description and comments down below, so go check that out if you want all the details on the bike. I also recently released a 20% hill climb test video with the Keystone, so go check that test out if you want to see what this bike is really capable of. But in today's video, the test is a 1 mile uphill time trial, and I went head to head with a carbon Borealis Crestone. And spoiler alert, there's really no question as to which bike is going to actually win this battle, especially since the Keystone is electrified and the Crestone had me powering it. However, because I had both these bikes on hand in very similar spec, I still thought I would provide an insightful and at least very fun head-to-head challenge. And ultimately, I thought it would be a good reference point to show the disparity between an electrified fat bike and a high-end carbon fat bike. As mentioned, these bikes had remarkably similar spec. The Crestone as ridden for this test has an MSRP of about $5,000, and the Keystone as tested has an MSRP of $6,500. Both were running identical 27.5 by 4.3 inch Terrain Yippee-Ki-Yays. Both were fitted with the exact same Manitou Mastodon Pro 120mm suspension fork. Both happen to have the exact same dropper seat post, although that wasn't really a performance factor for this test. The Crestone had the high-end, lightweight, and super crisp shifting SRAM XX1 drivetrain, including carbon cranks. And the Keystone had the recently released SRAM GX transmission, which is fully wireless. The large Crestone as ridden came in at just about 30 pounds, and the medium Keystone as ridden came in at 56 pounds. So the real factor here was going to be the question of whether the Shimano EP8 drive unit on the Keystone could overcome the weight disparity and outperform the Crestone on the climb. And again, I knew this was really going to be a no-brainer on the outcome, but let's talk about the course I was running for this. It's a 1 mile section of dirt road I've ridden hundreds of times, and that almost exact 1 mile length and the fact that it is a gradual steady climb all the way to the top makes it ideal for a test like this. Fortunately, the weather conditions were pretty close on both days, and there was no significant wind either day, which would be the biggest factor. So as you can see, it wasn't even really close. The Keystone was almost 2 minutes faster. I was pretty happy with my result on the Crestone. I think I got a result that was about as good as I could possibly get on that bike. Let's pull some slides and some stats from my Strava, which was data collected from my Garmin Instinct. The first slide shows the elevation change, and for some reason it didn't really match up, but in my past experience with this Garmin Instinct, it does seem to sometimes struggle with elevation, but the info represented on the Crestone was much more accurate to what it actually is. I found the speed data actually pretty interesting. It shows the Keystone basically just got up to speed and just maintained it throughout the entirety of the ride. Even as the climb was increasing towards the end, nothing really changed. The Crestone, of course, showed what was much more to be expected. Under human power, the speed was the greatest at the beginning before the climb really kicked in, and obviously as the climb intensified towards the end, the speed really dropped. And this last bit of data is my heart rate. I obviously worked a lot harder on the Crestone. My average heart rate was about 22 beats per minute higher, and my max heart rate was 24 beats per minute higher. And just to clarify, I did not use a separate heart rate monitor. This was heart rate data pulled from the Instinct itself. So there you have it. No great surprise here, but it really does show how an e-bike can assist you on a ride, and it really does demonstrate the consistent and linear power delivery of the drive unit, or at least the Shimano EP8 drive unit on this Keystone. If you have any questions or comments, leave those down in the comments section down below. If you found the video helpful or interesting, drop a like down below. It does really help out the channel. And if you'd like to continue to follow along with all of my fat, mountain, and adventure bike content, definitely subscribe. It's free for you, and it'll keep you up to date anytime I drop a new video. And I now have over 100 videos of fat bike content featuring rides, reviews, and technical information, but much more coming, so stay tuned. Thanks a lot, and have a great day.